Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing Dark Souls and recording it all on VHS. I just had to do that intro 4 or 5 times because I kept saying the wrong thing. Anyway, hey, it's Dark Souls. Also, episode 6 got delayed because, hey, this is Rose instead of Rosaria suddenly. So, yeah, just to cover it again, for whatever reason, my VO track for episode 6 got, nothing. It was just a complete hour of silence or so. Which means we're redoing it. This is Rose, who is like Rosaria, except a different character, but has luckily had roughly the same RNG. So, hey, great, I do in fact have 2 Black Knight swords. I didn't get the Black Knight Greatsword, though. That is about the only major difference in terms of things that have rolled. I got the Boar Helm, that's great, we have the same look, we have some stuff. I've done everything the same to get up to this point, and it took about an hour less of time because that's what happens with Dark Souls. And also, I wasn't trained to talk, and also I died a lot less because I was focused on the game and speedrunning stuff to get to where I was before. I think we should be about the same on levels. I do need to pump my faith a good chunk more points, but we should have the same strength, dexterity. I think I had 11 vitality. I think I had 11 I didn't touch attunement. I think I haven't touched endurance any more than getting it up to 100 stamina. So we should be in about the same place. I like in the same leveling and everything as Rosaria was. Rose is going to be our backup character in case anything happens to the recording process. Excuse me, while I eye the VCR to make sure it is in fact recording, and also eye my audio track to make sure it's also recording correctly this time. Everything seems fine. This is fine. How are you? So yeah, we're using that Black Knight Greatsword, which is a fun time. It is a very satisfying weapon when you hit things and you bonk them and they go flying. So good. It is also a really long windup, though. So yeah, we're heading down towards the Capper Demon, going to take on Lower Undead Burg and some other things. But first, hey, it's not this door, it's the next one, and I'm going to stop talking and not press any buttons because I always skip the first chunk of dialogue here.
Somebody, please let me out of here. Somebody, anybody, help me. Unlock the door. Damn. I'm finished. How did this ever happen?
It is not only time for rolling, but also time for Griggs.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels. Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery, and I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
I think that's...
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I have my sorcery. Besides...
So, Griggs is our first instance of an NPC that we meet out in the world. Well, I guess it's second. There was Lautrec. But Lautrec will leave Firelink Shrine. Griggs is our first example of a character that will move to Firelink Shrine and stay there for the most part permanently. There is all the stuff about his quest line. But we'll talk about that later. For now, we have more dudes with torches who I hate because of that charge attack that hits so many times, and that little, like, let me shove the torch forward attack that hits so many times, and I hate these dudes with torches. Just, they suck. There's no two ways about it. They suck. So anyway, yeah, what, I have no idea what I was talking about first run through here, but hey, let's talk about this little wall. I was convinced there was going to be some way to get back there. Something about this. Like, it's just, you can see through it so clearly. These planks really look like they should break. If you go back up that staircase and onto the landing there, you can look down and see, oh, there's totally some space here. But it's just dressing. There's nothing there. My first time through, though, I was convinced. Also, beware of thieves. I don't remember how poorly this went my first time through. I can tell you the dogs those threw me for a loop. My first time down here, those dogs destroyed me. They just ate me right up. Coming down here with the thieves, though, I don't think they were too troublesome. I think they managed to, like, stay away, but bleed sure is terrifying, especially when you don't fully understand what is going on with those bars that randomly appear at the bottom. Alright. Fly away, thieves. Man, I'm just realizing my first attempt at recording this episode, I got like a really rad triple kill on those thieves. Oh, speaking of ambushes, where are you, dog? There you are. That was definitely something I died to my first time through. This dude in a barrel, like, you come back here, you break open the barrel, and for whatever reason, that makes that second dog trigger and come running, and if you are, like, taking your time, like, picking things up, boy, you're trapped in this tiny little hallway with a dog right there, and dogs kind of attack real fast. They can be extremely troublesome. Now, I'm fairly certain my first time through, like, I don't think I even registered that there was a stairway here for a while. But I kept coming down through the Undead Burg to fight this boss here. And boy howdy, I did not understand what poise was and why it was important. And this boss fight is essentially, why do you want poise? This is going about the exact same way as it did last time. Alright. Well, this is a cheesy way. The classic way to handle this fight is run up these stairs and hang out on this archway, because Capra Demon sure has trouble. Wowzers. Oh boy. Please don't die. Well. Oh, he's still alive. I thought that second hit was going to do it. Well, that was 3 hits to dead. Good job, Black Knight Sword. So yeah, that boss fight definitely does not go that way your first time through. It usually goes extremely poorly, where it's like you walk in, you get cornered by the dogs if you don't have, if you haven't, we'll say, picked up the, I did this last time, I cannot remember this ring's name, the lion ring. Wolf ring, not lion, wolf. The wolf ring. And suddenly you actually have poise to, do, like, to handle those dog bites. Like, the dogs can just stun lock you, and then you're just screwed and dead. But coming in here, knowing how to handle it, knowing the, like, safe place in the arena, it really trivializes that fight. And also, having a Black Knight Sword that you can just crunch the Capra Demon with. Whew, boy, that goes a lot faster. Alright, so more fun mistakes from my first run through. I didn't go up these stairs first. I came down here because I was curious about this door with these torches. It's the classic, we're leading you with light problem of, oh hey, there's light here, I should go this way. Key to the depths? Great, I just got that and used it. Perfect. Let's go down. This sword is ridiculous. It is. It is really nice doing this one-hit KO on everything. But boy howdy. This is kind of ridiculous right now. I hate that. The torch dudes, I hate them so much. But that is still immensely satisfying every time. So down here we have more dogs, which again, like first time through, dogs are really intense. They have that bleed damage. They attack really quickly. They move around a lot, so they're kind of tricky to hit. Bonk. That attack takes so long. Alright, come on. Do a swing, please. There you go. Oh boy. I deserve that. Just another thing that didn't really go like that. This beefy dude with his really big cleaver, like, he was intimidating as heck. He has these dogs that are, you know, really tricky to deal with, but he also has this chest which gives you that breadcrumb, the breadcrumb to go home. The big, large ember, which, sure would be nice if I knew a blacksmith who might be interested in a big, large ember, because it's like, you know, hey, maybe it's handled by a blacksmith of Astora, which, of course, you know, brings to mind Andre. So, this hole here, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more as we go along, but I was terrified of this, and it was very much just like that seems like an instant death pit. No, thank you. As it turns out, it's a nice shortcut. And it took me a good long while before I figured out, hey, maybe I should drive down this hole. I am using up a lot more health than I want to. Now, I'm not entirely sure why. I think originally, my first playthrough, I had turned left first.
You, yes, you, here, over here, please, you must help me.
I could have talked to him while he was still in the barrel. Huh.
Thank you. I would have been a supper without you. Been eaten alive, I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, or the Great Swan. I will not forget my debt to you.
So, Laurentius is one of my, like, low-key favorites in Dark Souls.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Like, he's properly appreciative, and he's just really soft-spoken and sincere, and, like, he is a sincere that you just don't get in Dark Souls from, like, anyone except for maybe Griggs, but, like, there's always something a little bit off about Griggs. Whereas, I don't get that sense with Laurentius. Like, he was trapped in a barrel, and he's just like, oh good, I'm not going to get eaten. Thanks. And goes back to Firelink Shrine, where he's a good dude. So I'm not sure, but I don't feel like I ever really got surprised by this encounter. Like, I'm fairly certain that, like, even my first time through, I think maybe I had the camera spun around or something. So, like, when they dropped down, it was just like an, oh, hey, here's a dude. Or maybe not a dude, but anyway. We'll go with good burger logic. He's a dude, she's a dude, everyone's a dude. This one, however, I probably fell for this trap. I'm gonna top off real quick. Like, I probably fell for this. Also, first time around, definitely would not have known about, like, the mash the triggers to get out of those sorts of situations faster. In fact, I probably didn't know about that one until way later. Alright. You with the torch. I hate you. I hate them so much. Alright. So in terms of, like, emulating my first playthrough, we're basically in the same situation I would have been going down this way, of just like, surely I've got to be close to a bonfire, right? Of course, after they pull that one trap, you start looking at the ceiling, and then it's just like, aha, I see what you're up to. But, yeah, I would have been, like, out of Estus, hoping I'm close to the next bonfire. Real spooked and worried. You know, this sword does a really good job on these things. Now, these slimes are, of course, important to my first playthrough, because... did I mention it before? I might have mentioned it before, but anyway, in order to upgrade something to a magic weapon, or also a divine weapon, you need green titanite. And these enemies, these slimes, have a chance of dropping green titanite. Now, what would have happened in my first playthrough is I would have gotten around to this point, and I think I got, however you count it, lucky or unlucky enough for them to drop green titanite, and it would have been part of what led me down the path of magic. And of course you have this jerk of a locked door that's hiding that bonfire you so desperately want at this point. You have this big spooky rat as a big rat. Now we're just going to press a little bit further into the depths before we call it, you know, the point at which I would have gotten spooked out of here. Please do not poison me. I would really like to not be poisoned. Okay. Sigh of relief. We have our key. We can open that door. We could rest at that bonfire, but I'm not going to quite yet because, as I said, I would have gotten roughly about this far. I might not have gotten that key. I might have gotten that key, but, like, I got to about that point, and it's just like, you know what? I should turn back. I don't know entirely why. Like, it might have been that I just didn't have any more Estus, I didn't get that key, and I panicked and ran. And just decided, you know what, I want to take these souls and I want to get out of here alive, because I'm pretty sure I didn't go back to a bonfire. So I was like running around trying to desperately hold on to these, 10,000 souls from the Capra Demon. But that little dive there would have gotten me a green Titanite shard, which would have then put me in a position, like, to know where green Titanite shards come from. And once you know that, then it's like, oh hey, I have a green Titanite shard. And slight spoilers for what's coming up. I think I found like the exact spark that ignited my dive into magic. Maybe. Quite possibly. I don't know. It's really hard to say because it's like I remember shooting magic at the fire drake, but I don't remember when exactly I tried that. Alright, and then there's this character who, thankfully, coming in this way, and you can only come in this way because otherwise a one-way door, you hit, like, the talk trigger before you go around the corner.
You still have your senses about you. Then why won't you buy some of my moss? I need your souls. This is a wonderful place, don't you think? We have water, moss, moisture, these nice iron bars. I like it here, I really do. Nothing good ever happened to me in life, but now that I'm undead, I've never been happier. You've come to this land at a bad time. There are nothing but hollows in these parts. Save for me, of course. You're undead too, aren't you? You be careful then. Go down along the side to reach the depths of the undead berg. Only unkempt crooks and liars to be found there. Hardly a place for a lady like myself. But who knows? Maybe you'd fit right in. You come to this.
So she, of course, has just a pile of interesting items and also purging stones, which are of deep, deep importance if things go horribly wrong. She also has, importantly, moss, which I'm going to go ahead and actually just, we'll buy one of those. So I mentioned RNG went pretty well for me in terms of like doing about the same thing. I did not spend nearly as long in the Dark Root Garden, so I'm kind of short on moss on our backup character here. But that's fine. We are done with the depths for today. So onward, back to Firelink Shrine, because hey, we've met some NPCs who said they're going back to Firelink Shrine. Also, problem solved. Oh, that attack. The big wind-up bonk attack is so utterly pointless. Like, it's fun, it deals damage, and it deals ridiculous poise damage, but also, like, the wind-up and the settle on his animation are just so long. I really should not use it, but it's kind of fun. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Yeah, we've got a whole slew of things to check up on here. Suddenly, there's Griggs, who you see coming in, which that's cool. There's... Oh, hey, Lorntrius is still here. we've got our Crestfallen, we've got Laurentius, and also there's all these clerics here suddenly. So let's talk to some NPCs. We'll start with let's start with Laurentius, actually, or not Laurentius, Lautrec.
You again. What is it? Our futures are murky.
Alright, fine. Don't do anything ever, dude. So, Lautrec is still saying the same thing. How about you, Crestfallen?
Did you see her? That virtuous little maiden, complete with followers in tow? They're probably going straight to pillage graves. I've heard enough about Milady for a lifetime.
Amen.
Have you been to the ruins of New Londo below? Just head down the stairs and take the lift. It's certainly worth a visit. It was once an undead city. You may find a clue or two, unless the ghosts find you first.
So that line there is probably what actually sent me down to check out that elevator. Because, again, when I started playing, he mentioned that, oh, the elevator's broken. And when I went down to that first elevator, to the elevator 2 on Orlando, I tried the lever first, and it's like mechanism does not move or whatever. But when he then reminds me, oh, hey, that elevator is like, oh, right, I guess there was something down there. I think that is probably the spark that really kicked off my adventures in magic. That would have been what sent me down there, where I found Rickert, and at that point it's like, oh hey, here's magic to buy, which, you know, you can also get from Griggs. But it's like, okay, we've got magic, we have got this magic weapon enchantment. Ooh, that seems really cool. Let me just do that, and then it slowly turns into, and what if I just add one more point of intelligence? Just one more. And then the quick snowball into, now I'm a mage.
How did that nutty sorcerer make it back? Unexpected. But I suppose stranger things have happened. How did that old man make it back? Unexpected. But I suppose stranger things have happened.
You know, I never think of Laurentius as old. Like, he doesn't seem very old, especially by the way he talks.
Oh, have you seen that terribly morose lass? The firekeeper. She's stuck keeping that bonfire lit. Sad, really. She's mute and bound to this forsaken place. They probably cut her tongue out back in her village, so that she'd never say any god's name in vain. How do these martyrs keep chugging along? I'd peter out in an instant. I'm not up for...
Alright. So that takes care of Crestfallen. Next up we have Griggs, who can teach us magic.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested? Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan? Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead. But one day, he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me. Yes. The note that Master Logan left. It only said he would travel to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress. I can only guess that he seeks the regal archives. For Master Logan is a tireless pursuer of wisdom. Wisdom trumps all. Everything else is hogwash. When the curse turned him undead, I'm certain that he only felt it was the perfect chance to visit this land. I only wish that I had his courage. 2 things are required for sorcery. First, you must equip a wand. Second, you must attune a sorcery. Then you will be ready to fire away. Oh, and don't forget to aim. Two things are...
Alright, so
Oh,
we learned a good chunk from Griggs there. He acts as a tutorial for like, hey, here's how magic works. Don't forget to attune magic. And we're going to buy Soul Arrow and just Soul Arrow because that's what Rosaria did.
all right. That'll do it. That should help you on your journey. May we meet again.
So he of course does the tutorialization of like, hey, don't forget to attune your sorceries. And I remember, oh geez, my first time through, I was really concerned about like, wait, what do you mean uses 30? What does that mean? Because I didn't understand how magic worked, and I didn't understand that the magic was going to reset every time you set out a bonfire. So it was just like do I have to buy a new soul arrow to, like, do I only get 30 uses and then I have to buy it again? Yeah, that was fun times in that initial playthrough. Anyway, Griggs also talks about Big Hat Logan, which is just like, you know, it's that world building, expanding the thing to these great heroes of legend sort of stuff, and also setting you up to meet him eventually. Yeah. And then, of course, Laurentius, who, again, is just like one of my low-key favorites.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my Pyromancy of the Great Swarm, so I can use the magic with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'd be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
Definitely answered incorrectly my first time through. It was just like, wait, hold on. Yes or no? I also remember, like, very, very early on being confused as, like, wait, hold on. Which of these is actually, like, the selected state of a button?
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this.
And I do so love this next line.
A flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now. Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time. Pyromancy has a, well, rather primitive aspect to it. It meshes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavory, which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing.
That's about the only laugh Laurentius does, and it's like a nice soft chuckle and not the, like, inside joke chuckle. He is sincerely just like haha, as opposed to the he.
A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. When I gave you that flame, I gave you a part of myself. Please take good care of it. A pyromancer's...
Okay, that is in fact the end. But yeah, like, he's sincere, and sincerity is in short supply in Lordran. We're buying.
Goodbye then. Come back if you find anything new.
Again, we're trying to match up what I bought with Rosaria. So yeah, we have all sorts of souls that I could spend otherwise, but yeah, I need to buy those things. So.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure. Oh, hello. Miracles, I presume? Yes, I know. Rhea is the youngest daughter of the good house of Thurland. Those young knights are her old schoolmates, but I'm not sure what to make of them. I'm afraid they may be a bad influence. Rhea is the youngest... Come again.
The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
He has the crescent axe.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good. Oh, you again. What business have you? I don't suppose we can help, though. We accompany my lady on her righteous mission. It is quite a chore, but I'm stuck with her. And Nico, too. I can't very well abandon them now.
The moral of the story is clerics just suck.
Oh, it's you. We're to leave momentarily. The catacombs aren't exactly my idea of a good time, but what can one do? I do hope we meet again. Reria Nox.
If I remember correctly, the Verinox is Latin for, like, fear the dark.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission, and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not. Did I not...
I do really love the voice acting for her. Like, I really hate her right now. Like, this part came up as just like, wow, you kind of suck. You definitely suck. You super suck. And, okay, fine, just bye. Go into the catacombs. See what I care. Alright, so... Crestfallen Knight, Warrior, whatever his name is. Crestfallen, he would have sent me, I think that was the spark that sent me downstairs to talk to Rickert, realize, oh hey, here's a dude. But yeah, I think that would have been the spark that actually sent me down into New Londo Ruins. Discover Ghost or Scary. Discover Rickert. Discover the joy of, hey, I have a +5 weapon already. Let me turn that into a magic weapon. Right, I have not talked to Andre much. I might have 2 things to give to him.
Why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me? Magnificent! You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started. This is the old church. It was abandoned in favor of the church that you passed through. There are paths leading from here to 2 forbidden plains, Sans Fortress and the Darkroot Garden. They attract all sorts of lunatics. No one as cultured as yourself. It's fine to be undead, but keep a level head, eh? Sans Fortress is an old proving grounds built by the ancient gods. It is the only route leading to the great Anor Londo. Of course, most fools can't even find their way into that fortified death trap. But they won't stop trying. Take that bumbling Sir Onion.
I think I did this in episode 5. If I did, I'm sorry.
The Darkroot Garden, although I've heard rumors of a divine blacksmith who resides there. Those who get stumped in the catacombs seek him for divine weapons.
So I did talk about Andre kind of becoming the guidepost character, telling you where to go. Of, hey, you want to get into Singe Fortress to go to Orlando. Big Hat Logan was heading that way. He was going through Singe Fortress to get to Orlando. You have this line. I know little of the Darkroot Garden. That is his endpoint of speech. So, like, every time you come back to Andre, and he's a useful character, so you'll keep coming back to him, he says, I know little of the Darkroot Garden. Checking my time to make sure I have time to ramble about this. So, we're going to jump ahead slightly in terms of, like, things we're talking about, because this is one of the, like, I think, best designed things for Dark Souls. First, we're going to run back up here and spend some souls, because I don't want to be running around with quite so many, and also we need to drop points into faith. Perfect, I did get the leveling right. We need 3 more points of faith to get to where Rosaria left off at the end of what would have been episode 6. So, yeah, I know little of the Darkroot Garden. We've been told about the Divine
That's a rare
Ember,
ember
which,
you have there.
here we go.
I've seen one of those before. It's the ember of a divine blacksmith. Might you consider leaving that with me? I could produce divine weapons with a flame such as that. Well, thanks for that. You've made a fine decision. You soon shall see.
So I,
I'll be seeing
of course, don't have anything upgraded to the point that I can start showing off the whole weapon nonsense. Anyway, so I know little of the Darkroot Garden. You have that that key that costs 20,000 souls. That is some sticker shock. That is a big enough number, it's going to stick with you throughout the entire game. That's important. You have pretty much every time you go back to Andre, if you try talking to him, he's going to say, I know little of the Darkroot Garden. And that is going to happen pretty much for the entire game. That's important. Where am I going with this? In order to fight the 4 kings, you need the Covenant of Artorias, which you get from Sif. To get to Sif, you have your 2 options of going through either Darkroot Garden, which Andre knows little of, or the Darkroot Basin, which is, still related. It's still got Darkroot in the name, and Andre knows little of the Darkroot Garden. He talks even less about the Darkroot Basin. By the way, Rose managed to kill the Crystal Lizard here first go. Rosaria would have taken care of that in the lost episode 6. So, all's fine. Basically, Sif is about roughly that direction. But you have to go through either the Darkroot Basin or the Darkroot Garden to get to the Sif fight. And there's like mention in the item description of the it was the Crest of Artorias. It's got his name in the title. Like you eventually learn about Artorias, and it's mentioned that he is, we're just going to use this this humanity. I don't want to be responsible for it. Like, you have all of these clues that are pointing you towards Artorias, and like when you talk to the Keeper of the Seal, he mentions, oh yeah, only Artorias was able, like the Abyss Walker, only he was able to traverse the Abyss. And you have all of these things like continually reminding you and pointing you in this direction to go fight Sif to get the Covenant of Artorias for the fight with the 4 kings. Now, the reason I'm harping about all of this is because either you go in the front way and you do it earlier, Or you get to the point where you're doing New Londo ruins, and you open the key to, like, you open the seal, and it spits you out here. Just a bridge and an elevator away from the Darkroot Basin, from which you can get to the Darker Garden, of which Andre knows. Dang it. Either you can take the Darkroot Basin path up to Sif, or you can go into the Darkroot Garden. And by the time if you go the long way around and forget about Sif until the end, if you are coming out the seal and you just have that bridge and this elevator to get back up to Darkroot times, by then 20,000 souls is not much. It's going to be less than a level at that point, probably. So you're going to be able to spend that 20,000 on a key if you want to go through the Darker Garden to get there. But it's like you have these reminders, you have that immense sticker shock. Let's maybe not. And it's just a really strong set of breadcrumbs and like this looping paths coming to close back around and close this loop. So that if you had forgotten or put off or otherwise just didn't get the Covenant of Artorias to fight the Four Kings, it's right here. Like, again, it is a bridge and an elevator away to start going after Sif for the Covenant of Artorias. That's some super cool, super smart design. Anyway, Valley of the Drakes. So, my first time down here, oh boy, it went not great. Much like that. I hate these drakes so much. Like, honestly, fighting the drakes is not too bad. Especially with a Black Knight Greatsword that does a ridiculous amount of poise damage. I'm gonna die. Or he's gonna do that. That works. But these drakes are worth 1,000 souls each. So, my first run of Dark Souls, that's a lot of souls. Right there, 1,000 for a fight that's not that rough, right near a bonfire. Great, let's farm that. So I would have spent a good amount of time farming those drakes. And boy howdy, what a spooky lad. The Ancient Dragon is super neat. Oh, what great just creature design. So, the Ancient Dragon is part of why we're down here, or rather, some of the treasures he holds. Like, part of this is emulating my first playthrough. Like, I did eventually, like, come down this way. I don't remember exactly when, but I would have come down here at some point, and, like, farm some drakes, and also, importantly, I would have come up here. And then the lights change. And having fought drakes to get here, I probably would have had, like, very little Estus, if any, left. I think I would have gotten about here, maybe a little further, and then been like, you know what? No, I'm scared. And turned around. Which, of course, is kind of a mistake, because if I'd gone in a little bit further, I could have found the key to this door. I would have found the back way into Blighttown. I would have not had to go through the front way, the long way through Blighttown, and just gotten to Quelaag, which would have been nice, I guess. But also, I probably would have tried to go, like, backwards through Blighttown, so it's probably a blessing in the end that I didn't do that. So... oh, boy. In other news, I have poorly planned when to do this recording again, and I need to vanish in like 5 minutes, so... I did mention that there is something we need from this dragon. It's not that soul, but he lets me have that one for free. Now, my first time through, I tried to fight the dragon and realized, oh, that was a bad idea. And then I would have realized this ledge was here, and it's like, okay, you know what? I have all sorts of things I can throw. Let me just throw these and whatever knives I have, and boy howdy, that doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But you know what? At this point, I have magic. I've got fire bombs. Let's do this. Let's fight this dragon. Nope. Sorcerer's Catalyst, please. And it would have just been a lot of this, of hiding up here, mashing the attack button to cast things, and watching his health just drop so slowly, and being like, oh, maybe I've made a mistake. But it seems like you can do this. It seems fully plausible. It seems fully possible. And yeah, this would have been how it went my first time. Like, I might have gotten hit once and realized, oh, I shouldn't do that. I might have gotten poisoned once and gone, oh, I shouldn't do that. But then I realized this ledge was here, and this ledge is here so purposely, like, that you can cross from one direction safely, is an interesting bit of design. Alright, what else do we have to throw at this? We've got black fire bombs, we've got... I saw some throwing knives in there, where are they? Here we go. No. Yep, that seems accurate. Just like trying to get a swipe in, and then, oh boy, that's dangerous. But yeah, I would have expended like so many resources at this point trying to kill this dragon. And doing it without dying. And coming up just short, much like now. That's everything I have to throw. So what else can I do? And at this point, I think I had gotten lucky. Or at least lucky enough to have... Yep, that's arrows. This crossbow here. And yeah, this is exactly how it went my first time through the game. Of just throw every spell I've got, throw every item I've got, throw a pile of arrows. We've got 5 shots left. And yeah, at this point, well, there's only one option left. And that's to get one attack in. Oh, that sludge. Oh no. Okay, everything's fine. And our one attack. And there we go. Now at this point, because I don't have a key and I got spooked, I would have either died or gone back. I think I did successfully kill that, and I think I walked all the way back because I really need to get going. We're going to use a homeward bone once I find them. They're somewhere in this list. But in terms of this playthrough, the reason we wanted to come down here is for that Astora's straight sword. And that's why we've been pumping our faith, which I don't think Rose is going to make it quite there. She's dang close. So Rosaria does have the faith for this sword. Rose does not, so I'll have to fix that at some point. But this Astoran straight sword is... It deals divine damage. It has a high-quality weapon with a powerful blessing. That blessing just so happens to turn out to be divine. So it deals magic and physical damage both. It has a divine quality, which means it can take on skeletons in the catacombs. And what with those clerics and everybody saying things about catacombs and divine, and I would have gotten some green shards, and I probably would have farmed green shards to like get up to the point that I had a divine scimitar. Next stop is the catacombs with our Astora's straight sword, so that should be fun. Anyway, I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself that one a lovely weekend. Or day, night, evening, whatever I usually say. Bye!